Hi, I'm a single dad of 3 boys, never remarried because no matter how hard I tried, I could never find someone like my late wife. It was hard for me to adapt to my new normal. I've always put my boys first, made sure they get to spend time doing what they love, getting them what they want before I even get a new shirt or a wristwatch. I work long hours, do house chores, can't have any me time till the kids are in bed. I don't choose what to watch on TV, they do. I don't choose what we have for dinner, they do. And yet the boys are constantly always too busy with their lives to stop for a quick hug or a good morning dad. I got a golden retriever and named him Buddy. Look, I know being a dad is a thankless job. Everyone is dependent on me. I'm the sole breadwinner in this house. But truth is, I've come to realize nobody cares about me except Buddy. He's the first to walk into the room and greet me. I bet if he could talk, he'd ask me how I'm doing every single day. We do everything together. The boys would ignore me while making a mess, trying to eat, shower, do homework, play video games, etc. I love Buddy and he means the world to me. He recently started having medical issues. I've set some money aside as an emergency fund. It's not much, but enough to put towards its care. My oldest recently proposed to his girlfriend. Her family insisted and arranged for an engagement party at a restaurant. My son told me it's expensive. He and my sister, his aunt, sat with me and asked for money for the reservations. I was stunned when they brought up Buddy's emergency fund. I politely told her I can't do anything with the fund because it's for Buddy's medical expenses. My sister went on about how unreasonable I was being after I continued to decline. She said I wasn't being supportive of my son, and this is a big event and I should help out. I got fed up and lashed out at her, telling her that Buddy and his well-being are important to me. He plays a major part in my life, and he's my best friend, my buddy, and the one who showed me love without expecting anything in return. That's the least I can do to make sure I spend more time with him being healthy and happy. She lashed back, saying I'm actually a bad father for choosing my dog over my son, and that they already talked to his fiance's family about this particular restaurant, which is very expensive. I refused to discuss it, but they refused to drop it, basically repeating the same argument that I'm choosing my dog over my son's happiness. Am I the idiot? If your son is old enough to get married, he's old enough to either pay for this party or downsize until he can. And if the aunt or the in-laws feel so strongly about it, they are more than welcome to chip in. You are not the idiot here. Not the idiot, obviously. So much demand for an engagement party. Who knows what they will demand for the wedding? Your house? If the girlfriend's family wants the party, knowing they can't afford it, your son and girlfriend should ask them to pay for the party. And to be honest, they are being too immature to get married. You are all idiots here, except Buddy. Buddy's a good boy. You're obviously not wrong for having and keeping an emergency fund for him. That's basically the opposite of being an idiot. So your son and daughter-in-law are idiots for asking that. However, you raised your sons, and somewhere on that path, they seemingly got ungrateful and emotionally distant. Or maybe you just perceive them that way because they're kids. Anyway, your post describes at length how unrewarding being a dad is, but not in one sentence how you tried to change your relationship. So I'm guessing that you didn't, and just put all your love on the dog instead, and then wondered why everything is the way it is. It's not necessarily your duty to change it, but if you didn't even try, you have no right of complaining about it, which makes you an idiot as well. You are not the idiot. You're contextualizing this wrong. You're not choosing your dog over your son. Daughter-in-law's family, and apparently some members of your family, decided to commit you financially to an expensive engagement dinner. This is an indulgent luxury. This could easily be hosted as a barbecue at a private residence. This could easily be done at a less expensive restaurant. But no, it has to be at an expensive restaurant. This isn't like you're declining to pay for your kid's cancer treatment. This is a luxury event. Pushing back when other people make you spend money in a manner in which you did not approve of is not choosing your dog over your son and does not make you an idiot. I, 27 male, East Asian, have been married to my wife, 27 female, South Asian, since 2017. We have a toddler daughter and a baby son. So my wife can't cook. She can do basic stuff, obviously, but she hates it. It's like a mix of fear and clumsiness. And honestly, up until we got married, I didn't cook either. Obviously, this was a problem. We eventually came to a solution. I do the cooking and she washes all the dishes before and after. I'm fine with it. She's fine with it. And we've been functioning well. My parents and my in-laws came over the other day for dinner, and everyone was having a great time. That was until my mother-in-law complimented my cooking skills. My mom was a bit taken aback for some reason and asked me if I cooked again. I informed her that I usually cook, and she just got even moodier. I brushed it off, but then when my in-laws left, I caught my mother scolding my wife. About what? Well, apparently she should be the one cooking, not me. You know why? Because she's the wife, the woman, and I am the husband, the man. My wife stood up for herself and said that we both came to an agreement and we didn't need her input on how we made our food. I involved myself at this point and told my mom that she was being very unreasonable. My mother said that she didn't get me married to become a slave to my wife and that she was just looking out for me. I told her to get out and she left the house crying. I don't see why this was such a big deal. I don't think I'm being the idiot either, but my mom says I am. My dad is on her side just because she's his wife, but he says that I wasn't wrong for defending my wife, just for swearing at my mom. My wife is over it and wants to apologize just so we can move on, but I don't think we should, considering we didn't do anything wrong. My friend told me to get some judgment from here, so here I am. Am I the idiot in this situation? Not the idiot. Your mom seems to be overlooking the fact that this is not her marriage. Whatever criteria she might have had for your future spouse are irrelevant. If you're happy, then she needs to butt out. At most, she can express her concern once if she thinks you're in danger, but having to make your own dinner does not qualify. Not the idiot. Your mom was passive-aggressive throughout what should have been a very nice, happy family dinner, all because of how she thinks you're enabling your wife to skew set eroded gender roles your mother's grown up with. It was downright disrespectful of her to ambush your wife in your and her house, and she got told off for it. You know there are strong cultural elements in play here, so don't act like your mother's attitude is some big surprise. You are all idiots here. Your mother shouldn't be continuing to press this issue, but you're a grown man and should be able to have a discussion and even bring the visit to an immediate end without saying, "Get out." My friend recently came back from a doctor's visit and was told she's in danger of serious problems like type 2 diabetes and heart disease if she didn't make some dramatic lifestyle changes. She is currently overweight and on the cusp of being obese. She came to me for comfort as the doctor's visit made her feel uncomfortable, as the doctor straight up told her that she needs to lose weight if she wanted to live a longer life. He was quite blunt about it and didn't beat around the bush. This hurt her feelings quite a lot. She was telling me that the doctor made no attempt to empathize with her and that he was making her ashamed of her body. However, instead of comforting her, I said that maybe the doctor has a point since all the symptoms she mentioned have been prevalent recently: trouble sleeping, shortness of breath. I figured that if she could avoid some long-term health complications with some changes to her lifestyle, she owes it to herself to at least try those changes. I said this because I know she gave up on her exercise New Year's resolution 5 days into the year, and she has an unhealthy diet. I suggested that perhaps changing it would prevent disaster in the future, and that made her blow up. She called me a bad friend. She said that I was fat-shaming her. She said that it's purely genetic, so she can't help it. She even went as far to say, "Sorry, I don't have a body like yours." I'm not that attractive, but I'm not overweight either. I doubled down on what I said. I said that the doctor doesn't gain anything from fat-shaming her. It's their job to ensure good long-term health. I said that her lifestyle lined up exactly with what the doctor said: not enough exercise and an unbalanced diet. I said that if she didn't get her stuff together, she'll regret it in the long term. She blocked my messenger, and I've made no attempt to contact her since. She hasn't blocked me on Instagram or iMessage. However, I don't think I said anything wrong. I stand by what I did, and if this happened again, I would do the same thing. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Her doctor gave her the facts, and she knows he is right. She came to you as her friend to comfort and encourage her in a positive manner, though. She didn't need you to double down. She needed you to listen and then encourage her to listen to what the doctor said. This will be controversial, but in my view, definitely, you are not wrong. Being a really good friend is often about telling your friend what she needs to hear rather than what she wants to hear, which is what you did. Tone in making it very clear that you are here to support her is also important, of course. You are not the idiot. You weren't fat-shaming her at all. I'm sure she's self-conscious and embarrassed, but that doesn't change that that's the truth. If she was exercising and eating a balanced diet and still wasn't losing weight, sure, it could be chalked up to genetics, but it sounds like you were concerned and want her to take her health seriously. I think in the future you should just refuse to talk about it. Say, you already know how I feel about this, and last time it started a fight. I don't want to fight with you. You are the idiot. In short, if she could just get her stuff together and lose weight, she would. But that is just not how this works. What you did is the equivalent of telling a depressed person to lighten up and stop being so sad all the time. Obesity has many, many causes and is a complex issue that is connected to various mental health issues, as well as environmental factors and physical determinants, such as genetics. What you perceive as laziness or lack of discipline is in fact a complex issue that can't be resolved by one getting their stuff together. What she needs is support, not blame. So I'm a first-time mom to a wonderful little boy. His father and I haven't been together since before he was born. We had a falling out and he went to jail. That's a different story though. So in the span of 2 years, my son's father has given me $600, 2 boxes of diapers, a box of wipes, and a bag of used clothes. I've always made sure my son was taken care of. I never asked or bothered him for anything unless I genuinely needed it. I told him I wanted him to start spending time with his son. He said he would take him on weekends. Well, the weekends came and he never showed. It's happened multiple times, and it's jeopardized my job. I've reached out and told him that it was unacceptable to ignore his duties as a parent. He never once said he didn't want to be a part of the baby's life. If he did, then I would let that happen. Everything came to a boil last week when I asked him for some money to buy my son some more clothes. He told me he feels like I'm spending the money on other things, and he no longer is going to give me anything. Instead, he's just going to buy whatever the baby needs and drop it off when he can. I told him I was offended that he would say that, since I've given up so much for our son. I told him that by law, if he didn't want to pay anything, he needed to take him 50% of the time. Well, it was his turn to take the baby, and he ignored me. Went half the week without responding, and then said, I'll give you $300 and take him on weekends. I can't during work since I don't have a sitter. Stop tripping already. I will admit, I was irritated with him. I responded back that that wasn't my issue. I work as well, and still managed to take care of our son. You've had all week to plan things. I'm done trying to make this work with you. I'm filing with the courts, so this way there's no more issues for us. Well, that sent him off the deep end. He started cussing me out, saying I was damaging his life, and then told me he was going to quit his job so the baby wouldn't get anything. I told him to do what he felt was best, but I'm going to court. So now I'm sitting here wondering if I may have gone too far. You are not wrong. Also, if he quits his job, that doesn't mean he won't owe child support. I knew this guy who took a huge pay cut changing jobs, purposely trying to earn less so he could pay lower child support. He was ordered to pay based off his ability to earn the higher wage. You're not doing anything to anybody. If he did what he said he would, you wouldn't have to take the legal avenue. He did. It's his fault. You are not the idiot. Child support is for your son, not for you. Please file it so that your son has a chance at receiving what he's entitled to. Clearly, your ex has no interest in being a father, financially or physically. He would rather quit his job than spend time with or provide for him. That tells you everything you need to know. Do right by your son and file with the courts as soon as possible. Please also start gathering evidence that may be needed if your ex tries to pursue custody, as I'm genuinely concerned about his ability to care for your child. Keep screenshots of aggressive text messages. Keep a log of all the times he said he would spend time with your son and then didn't show up, etc. Open a separate email address and email everything to it so that you have kept it safe in case you lose your phone or something. Wishing you and your son the best of luck. My father-in-law is a dirtbag who ended his 23-year marriage with a text and moved in with mother-in-law's best friend since college while mother-in-law was on a trip. I'm going to call the friend Shanna, and her and the father-in-law are married now, very unhappily, and it's a huge crap show. Stealing father-in-law wasn't enough, and Shanna went on a smear campaign and told everyone stuff mother-in-law had told her in confidence. Mother-in-law hates them for valid reasons, but I've tried to tell her that the best revenge is living well. She just got engaged to someone who treats her like a princess and has real money. Father-in-law has become a gambling addict, and him and Shanna are screwed. But there is still a lot of anger. I probably messed up by sitting them together at the wedding, but mother-in-law's fiancé accidentally knocked his entire glass of wine onto Shanna's lap. I'm pretty sure he did it on purpose, and I do think it was needlessly immature, but not my problem. The dress cost $1,500, and the stain will come out. Shanna asked me to pay for it, and I refused. She cried and said the dress was important, and she just wanted to feel special and beautiful. I told her to take it up with the fiancé, but she said he would just tell her to buzz off. She was really distraught and said since it was my wedding, it is my responsibility, and that I should have done something when she was humiliated. As of right now, I'm refusing to pay. You are not wrong for not paying for the dress. It was at your wedding is stupid logic. You didn't spill the wine. However, kinda wrong for seating them together. It's not exactly shocking that something like this happened. You put 4 people with a lot of history and anger together at a table. Why did you think this was a good idea? Probably OP figured they could all be adults and ignore each other for their adult child. You are all idiots here. Why on earth would you sit them together? You don't sound like an idiot, and only an idiot would have thought that that would end well. Frankly, you're lucky it was one ruined dress and not a whole ruined wedding reception. That said, it isn't your responsibility to pay for the dress. She can try and get her money back from the guy who spilled, or she can go whistle. You are not the idiot. Bad idea putting bitterly divorced couples at the same table, especially as the ex-wife's backstabbing best friend is the new wife. But also, God, couldn't they all get over this stuff and play nice for one evening? They sound like petty people, and pulling you into this drama is further proof of that. Shanna's dress isn't your responsibility, though. She needs to take it up with your mother-in-law's man, and if she continues to refuse to confront him, then she needs to accept that the dress is gone and won't be replaced. These aren't even your parents. They're your husband's parents. Why is Shanna even bringing this to you? Does she think she has a friend and ally in you? Edit to add, ugly thought, but Shanna was capable of hooking up and marrying her best friend's husband in the shadiest way possible, but she's too scared to confront the new guy about the dress? I would have thought Shanna to be more audacious and bold than this, to be quite frank. You are not the idiot. This actually made me laugh. It's so absurd. Don't pay. Just keep telling her to take it up with the fiancé. Though I'm kind of suspecting that you didn't accidentally set them together, because why would you sit a man who cheated on his wife at the same table with the wife? But he and new wife are awful, so oh well.